Alright everybody, it's finally time to end this series with an official ranking video and then start my next series, and I won't tell you what it is. You'll just have to wait till next week. But before I start, I just want to show, I never got a chance to show you my games. I got the Saw 1 and 2 game that came out in like what, 2007? 6? These games came out very quickly while these movies were being made. Like by the time they made part 3, they were already making video games for this franchise. It's crazy. And those games were pretty close to the original material. Like, you got a lot of traps from those movies in that game. So, those are fun games to check out if you haven't played them already. They're only on Xbox 360, I think. So, yeah. Maybe you can find them at GameStop. But let's go over my official ranking of this franchise. Let's get it over with. What's at the bottom? My number 8 of this 8-film franchise is going to go to Saw 3D. This movie is just for the kills only. There's no good story. There's no good characters. It's just like, I feel like it's just a bunch of traps being thrown in just to be gore. Like, this movie is definitely the goriest, so I should love it because of that. But the character of Bobby and his associates and the lawyer and the wife getting caught on fire, being cooked alive, for what reason? Because she married a liar. It's just terrible. You get one of the worst revelations, twist reveals of Dr. Gordon being the killer all along, as if he would even do that at all. The family guy, he's like a family guy in the first movie. He's got the wife and daughter, and I was supposed to believe that guy went psycho afterwards. It just makes no sense. It does not end the series well. It's supposed to be the closer film of the franchise to answer all the questions, and it just raises a few more and doesn't answer them. And that's why it is at the bottom of the barrel for me. So let's move on to the next one. And you probably a lot of you, but you haven't gotten to see this whole shirt, so probably been wondering, like, what's the shirt say? It says, I want you to play a game. Number 7 for me is going to go to Saw 5. A lot of people put this at the bottom, and I know why. There's no twist. The main game is boring. There's nothing like smart about it. It's just like, all right, we gotta do this or we'll blow up. We gotta do this or we'll blow up. But they're supposed to be working together, and it's so obvious. A bunch of shitheads thrown in the room, not likable. Meanwhile, we got Strom investigating Hoffman the entire movie, just going place to place. This is mainly like a flashback movie. This is the movie where they kind of took the main game and threw it aside. Like, let's not focus our writing on that. Let's just focus on writing Strom and his investigation and all these flashbacks to explain Hoffman. This is the movie that just basically, explains Hoffman's motivation, how he came to be, how he got involved, what he helped out with before. That's what this movie is. It doesn't try to do what it should be doing, and that is create a good main game that's smart and gory and good. Not Saw 3D stupid, but like I said, Saw 3D gory, but everything surrounding it was just stupid. This movie has an interesting side story with Strom and Hoffman, all that stuff, but the main game, the lack of a revelation at the end, it's just horrible. I do like the opening with the pendulum acts. I like the ending with the room squeezing in. The box ends of this movie, the very beginning, very end, very good, but everything in the middle is just horrible. And that's why it's my number 7. Number 6 is going to go to the movie that I find to have the best revelation next to the original, and that is Saw 4. This movie's main protagonist is a guy named Riggs, or Griggs, whatever, like Lethal Weapon. He just has to stay home. And if he stays home, this movie doesn't exist. But he doesn't stay home, so he just goes to these places. He's putting people in traps. He's causing these people their lives. He's doing stupid shit. And the traps are just not that good. This is when the franchise got a little gorier. Because the third one was pretty over the top. The third one's what really started the template for like being over the top and really creative and innovative with the traps. And this one went off of that one. But they're not that interesting. Like the hair pull, that's decent. But the one guy he forces into that one thing, like, it's just like, I didn't like the traps too much in this movie. I love the twist at the end. Hoffman's another apprentice. This movie's happening at the same time as part 3. But overall, I just didn't enjoy this one as much as the other one. There's not a real bad film in this franchise, so it's hard to rank these movies. But I had to go off of like, all right, Was the main game good? Was the gore there, or was the main character somewhat likable? The revelations, the twists. That's what I'm ranking these based off of. I really love the twist in this movie, but everything around it before that twist is not good enough to hold this movie up. But yeah, if they just set up Riggs to be a better person, make better decisions, like why he never called back up. This is the movie where he can, he's not like restricted and like handcuffed to the game. He can make choices. He can get back up. He just keeps going these places by himself, being stupid. It's not a good Saw movie. So that's why it's my number 6. Number 5 is gonna go to the most recent one, Jigsaw. This is just the fun one. Like this one's it's shot well. It's got very good cinematography. I love the new barn setting. The characters are not likable at all, but I do enjoy that one character from The Thing prequel. He's the comedic one in this film. Like the glowing red eyes of the puppet. The traps aren't that creative, but I really just enjoy the different atmosphere that this movie has compared to the other ones that all had like the same look and feel, the whole like greenish yellow tint to them, the filter. This one looks different. It's easily distinguishable from the other ones. You can't confuse this one with any other one. Like you might confuse some of the other ones with each other, like which one was which. This one stands out, and that's what I like about it. I like the twist that we get in this movie. It explains that Logan was the one responsible for Jigsaw basically dying of cancer. He could have treated his cancer, but he fucked up, and then he became a helper. This movie, like Saw 3D, opens up more questions, doesn't answer all of them, and this one doesn't even tie itself to the rest of the franchise really, and that's a big negative I have with this film. But overall, it's still fun. I like I like all the red herrings. It's a mystery again. Like, all right, who's the new apprentice? Because in the later installments before we knew who it was. It was Hoffman. It was Amanda. Joe Tuck was kind of helping out. There was no mystery really anymore. It was just kind of like, all right, what's the wordplay? What's the twist thing at the end? But in this one, it's again a whodunit. Is John Kramer alive? I love that this is a prequel sequel. So I like the twist in this movie. That's what really holds it up over part 4 and 5 especially. Moving on to my number 4, which is a lot of people's number 1 or 2. My number 4 is going to go to Saw 2. This movie has a pretty good twist. I like that the whole, like, the screens they were being played back. They thought it was live, and it turns out that, Detective Matthews' son Daniel was in the safe right next to him. All he had to do, his game, was just sit there and listen for 2 hours, and that's it. But he failed such a simple task. And that's just ridiculous. Like, just listen to the guy. The traps in this game, they're very simple. I mean, like I said, Saw 3 really set the template forward for the 4, 5, and 6. They get more creative. This one just has the gun at the keyhole and the pit of needles. And there's just nerve gas in the house. They gotta get out of there. And Amanda is the main accomplice. That's the twist in this one, too. It has a decent twist, but the traps are lackluster compared to what we get later on when we get spoiled with more creative, over-the-top gore. This one's very tame once you watch the other ones. But I love how much more John Kramer we get in this movie. This is like the official start of John Kramer, whereas in the first one, he was just like a dead body on the ground the entire movie. We get to see a lot more of him in this one. I enjoy that. I enjoy Detective Matthews, played by Donnie Wahlberg, his performance. When he goes nuts, he's beating the shit out of John Kramer, breaking his finger, like, where's my son? But overall, there's a few more movies that I hold above this one, so let's get into that. What's my number 3? My number 3 is going to Saw 6, the health insurance one. This movie has awesome traps, very suspenseful, tension-building traps, the carousel trap, the don't breathe trap. Yes, all his traps are like, are taken from his life. Like, it's like metaphorical almost. Like, like he makes decisions that basically kill people behind a desk with paper and stuff. Like, all right, deny coverage. And now he has to make those decisions up front and personal with the people. Like, I'm going to decide if you live or die. I like that this movie, the traps were the main focus point when it came to the writing. It wasn't like Saw 5. They took the traps, they focused on that, and that's why this one's so much better. Traps are there, the gore is there, the guy gets the acid in his stomach and he just falls in half. You get that twist revelation at the end where that one chick, Pamela, was his sister. That was his family. This wife and son was not his family the whole time like you thought. Great twist. We find out that Joe Tuck has to kill Hoffman because that's what Jigsaw wanted. Kramer wanted Hoffman to get killed off eventually when his work was done. And Hoffman goes on this rampage at the police station, just slicing that guy's throat, throwing coffee in that woman's face, and stabbing her a bunch in the stomach. Awesome scene. One of the most intense openings. It's not my favorite opening, but when you have to, they had to like donate their flesh. They're chopping off their arm. This one fat guy's ripping off his stomach. Very gory. One of the better openings. I think my favorite, I mean, I like the whole idea of blind versus mute in part 4. It's odd, like, part 4 has a great open, has a great end, but it's got that middle problem, just like Saw 5. Saw 4 and 5, they have a great promising open end, and in the middle it's just like, meh. But this movie, from beginning to end, great movie. Love the flashbacks we get with John Kramer in this movie. He's going into like political tirade about how the health insurance, it's not run by the politicians, it's run, the health insurance companies are taking over, they're killing people. Very smartly written. This movie definitely makes up for part 5. And that's what the writers of these movies said. They said they wanted to make up for part 5, so they wrote Saw 6 to be better, and boy did they. My number 2 is going to go, prepared to be shocked, Saw 1. That's right. I don't know what happened, but when I was watching these movies, I really enjoyed the third one a lot. And I'll get into that after I do this. Alright, so Saw 1, that's my number 2. This movie, yes, it has the disadvantage of the small budget. It's very low budget. You got that car chase sequence. It's like, what the fuck's going on? It's like this fast zoom of both people driving. You got all this fog inside this factory. What is there a fog machine in this factory? What the hell's going on? But hands down, the best twist. The guy in the middle of the room has been dead the whole fucking time. How did we not see that coming? Why would there be a dead guy sitting there the whole time? Anyways, should have seen it coming, but we didn't. He just gets up at the end. Great ending. This is a movie that's like built around the traps. This is the first one. This wasn't the one that was like, all right, we're just going to do a bunch of torturous traps. We're going to be torture porn, so to speak. This one's more just about the mystery. It's like, all right, why are we here? Why are we in this restroom? What's going on? Tell me why, how you got here. Who are you? Adams acting, played by Lee Winnell's, pretty noticeably bad in this movie. That can taint your experience of the film if that's like weighing you down. Like, ugh, that guy's not believable. This movie is definitely unique. It started this whole new genre of film that they call torture porn. You could argue that Friday the 13th torture, like in the remake, he hangs that girl above the fire in the sleeping bag. That's torture, is it not? I don't believe in the term torture porn. It's not like I'm jerking off to this shit. It's not porn. But overall, there's just things I enjoyed about part 3 even more than this one. So my number 1 process of elimination is Saw 3. I don't know what it was, but when I watched this one, I didn't know what to expect. This is probably one of the ones that I watched the most, and that probably has a reason for it. Because I owned Saw 1 and 3 on VHS growing up, and then DVD, of course. But this is the one, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is the one that set the template for it, like how all the Saw movies would look like from then on. This one still has that yellow-green tint from Armstrong, the cinematographer. I noticed going through the series that part 5, 6, and 7, it started to peel back that tint, that filter of green and yellow. It started to get reduced more and more and more. But this one looks like a Saw film. It feels like a Saw film. This one has the most nastiest trap of them all. One of the best traps of all. The rack. John Kramer's personal favorite. It has some likable characters that you can't say that about the other ones, really. But Jeff and Lynn, you don't know that they're married. That's a great twist. This movie has great twists, and that's what a Saw movie needs. You find out that the whole game wasn't just Lynn's game. It was Amanda's game. And John Kramer says that to Amanda. He says, I want to play a game, but he's looking at Amanda. And you don't know that on first watch. You don't know that Lynn is married to Jeff. You got that wordplay. Again, like in Saw 6 and Saw 2, you got that wordplay where it's like she's on the bed and the guy that she's in bed with, we think it's her husband, he goes, I want a divorce. But he's saying, I want you to divorce your husband and come be with me. Some people hate Jeff, but I understand where he's coming from, why he's so, he's seeking revenge. He doesn't try to save these people until it's like too late. Once they're like half dead, he's like, all right, I'll try to get the key now. And that makes most audience members go like, oh, fuck this guy. Come on, try. But you have to understand where he's coming from. Like, not even a day ago, he was like this out for revenge guy, and now all these people he's been daydreaming about killing are right in front of him. So you can't expect him to flip on a dime like, alright, I'm gonna save you guys. No, it makes sense why he's not trying that hard to save these people. So yeah, like, Jeff might not be likable to some of you, but I understand where he's coming from. As a character, I like him, and I like Lynn especially, because you don't even know she's cheating on Jeff the whole movie until the end when it's revealed that they're married. I could go on and on about this movie. I love it. The traps, the twist, John Kramer and Amanda, their performances in this movie, they're back and forth. The gore, a lobotomy is being done in this movie. One of the goriest. Like I said, this movie just set the example for what a Saw film should be from this one on forward. Good traps, the rack, the pig guts. He has to burn his child's, all his memories. He has to burn them. Could you imagine? Awesome, awesome one. And this one is underappreciated. Like, you never see this at the top of Saw rankings. Everyone puts 2 and 6 and 1 at the top. I had to put 3 up there. I love it. And that's my ranking. What's your guys' ranking? Put them in the comments below. Tell me I'm an idiot, I'm wrong, Saw 3 sucks. What the fuck are you smoking? Whatever. That's just my opinion. Look out for my next week's review. I'm going to be starting a new franchise with just as many sequels as this one. You'll find out what it is. I'm going to start new awards. I'm not going to tell you my favorite kill and worst kill. I'm going to tell you some other things too, so look forward to that. But thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed this video at all, hit this like button to support it. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, and you wish to do so, you can do so by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds to see more. And until next time, I love you to see.